so we are going to go ahead and start our math lesson for today. I need a volunteer. Let's go ahead and bring Bryce up here. I need you to hold this end and walk across there. All the way to the end of the wall.
Good job!
Who can tell me what we are doing today? What do you think we are doing, Madison?
Measuring.
Measuring. Yes. Good job. Put it back down. Measuring. Now we can measure with the normal things that we've already talked about, where we measure with a measuring tape, a ruler, a yardstick, a meter stick. Those we've already gone over. You guys should be well familiar with those. But what if we didn't have one? A normal standard measuring tape. How do you think we can measure things? Anybody want to take a guess? Madison.
We can measure them by toys.
By toys? What do you think?
With a ruler or a yardstick.
No, I'm saying if we didn't have one of those.
Oh. We'll measure, I don't know.
Okay, today we are going to go ahead and go over the non-standard measuring units.
On my juice.
Okay, so we've already gone over the term estimation. Anybody remember what estimation means? Callie.
So you take a lucky guess about how long or something is, or...
Right, like an educated guess,
Yeah,
where you're trying to get as close to the... Yes?
Kind of like a hypothesis, but not for science.
Kind of similar, but it's more of an educated guess with some sort of knowledge behind it, some sort of education behind it, where you know something. So we are going to go ahead and measure. One second. We're going to use our estimations within our activity today. But I want to first go over which is bigger, centimeters or inches? Callie?
Inches.
Inches. And what about inches or feet? Madison?
Feet.
Very good.
Oh, you only told me once.
You gotta raise your hands if you have a question. All right, so I need you guys to go ahead and pull out your pencil. Okay. How long in inches do you think your pencil is?
2 inches.
2 inches?
5 inches. 6 inches.
6 inches?
Are we going to do halves?
No, we're going to estimate. We're just estimating, so we're going to get as close to the whole number as possible. Say 6 inches, 7 inches.
You right
Okay.
now?
Nope. So we think our pencil is 7 inches.
Yeah.
Now let's use our pencil and go across our desk and measure how many pencils it would take to go from end to end of our desk.
1.
Nope, we're going to start right at the very end. What would you say, Callie?
About 3.
3? I'd say about 2 or 3.
4.
No, I think 4 is a little high. I would say 2 or 3. So if we say that, grab our whiteboard. We're going to estimate that one pencil to be 6 inches, right? So we think one pencil is 6 inches, and we're going to say it takes about 2 pencils to get from end to end of the desk. So we're going to write 6 plus 6, because we have 1 pencil across the desk, 2 pencils across the desk. Now we're going to use our counting up skills. Let's start with 6 fingers and count 6 more. 6, as a class, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So now we have 12. Here we had our math sentence that we should all be familiar with. We went over our math sentences a few weeks ago, where our equal sign has to balance out both sides. And then of course we want to make sure that we label our units, inches, end. So we can estimate using a non-standard unit, being our pencil, that our desks are about 12 inches across. Does everybody understand that? Do we have any
Yes.
questions?
No.
Now, what would happen if one of our pencils was not the same size? Let's say we sharpened the pencil, and now we have a pencil that's only this long. Do you think this pencil is still our same 6 inches as a normal length pencil?
No.
No. This is why it's important to estimate with the unit you are going to measure with. Because if I was going to measure with this, I would definitely measure a different number across the desk, right? Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and pull out our math notebooks.
It's my pencil.
Sorry. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the board, and we're going to go over a few word pages together going over this unit. So if you guys pull out your iReady pages to page 22.
Yes. This one?
Yes. 22. It should have a pencil across the top of it. That way you know you are on the right side.
Oh, okay. It's good.
Okay, we are going to read and go over this together. Okay.
Mom, I love maybe a little cat. Mom, I love a doll over there.
We'll go over that in just a minute. We're going to save our stories for sharing later. Madison, can you sit on your bottom piece? Feet on the floor.
Turn around.
Callie, hands on your own paper.
Put your name on the top.
Thank you. Are we all ready? Yes, we're going to write our names on the top.
Mommy, this is a really good beat.
Yes. We're going to focus on math right now, though. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do these with you. We're going to do them together as a team. The first question we're looking at, right underneath the pencil, are we looking? Okay, it says, how long is each object? Use the paper clips to measure. So our non-standard unit is going to be the paper clips right here. We are going to use the paper clips to measure how long our pencil is. Can we count how many paper clips is? The pencil is blank paper clips long. Who can count how many paper clips there are? Count them, Bryce. Tell me.
1, 2,
No, we're up on the pencil.
1,
Underneath the pencil.
1, 2,
6.
6.
Yes. The pencil is 6 paper clips long. So we're going to go ahead and write a number 6 right here in the blank. You guys go ahead and do that for me.
I don't like the number.
Sit down, Madison.
Do we like number 6?
Right here. You know your numbers. Okay, now we're going to look at the next problem is going to be the envelope. You guys see the envelope right here?
Yes.
How many paper clips long is the envelope?
4.
Don't shout it out. We're going to raise our hands. Callie.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4. Good job. So we are going to go ahead and write a 4.
Come on.
All right, so now we are moving down to the 2 separate lines here. Which line is longer? Madison.
A big one.
The first one or the second? The top one?
Yeah.
All right, so we are going to circle our A. How do you know which line is longer?
Because that's a which one handle would be. Because that's one handle is doodles in the handle. You can see because it's the camel wing handle.
Because it ends farther? All right, so we are gonna go ahead and, on these lines here, it says, the directions say we are gonna justify our answer, which means we're gonna explain how we know that. So Madison says that because the starting point and the ending point is longer in the top line than the bottom line, right? Okay, I want you guys to use your own words and go ahead and write that. I'll go ahead and write mine as well for you guys to look at.
What did he say? Yasha, what did he say?
Okay, so we have that. I'm going to go ahead and leave that up for a few seconds. So you guys can go ahead and copy that from the board into your worksheet. If you wrote something different, that's okay. We'll go ahead and look at them. Callie, did you want to share what did you write?
Can I finish first?
Yes.
Thank you. That's
Very good. All right, Callie, what did you write? Go ahead and share.
I said I think the top line is longer because it ends past the bottom line. It goes past the bottom line.
All right, that is a good way of explaining that. Did everybody hear that?
Yeah.
Good job. All right, so we're going to move on to the next page of the worksheet. It's going to be the one with this wrench on top here.
Yeah.
Can I see that? Now you guys should have pennies from your class economy
Yes.
in your bins. You guys should be able to pull out 5 pennies. Can I go ahead and see those pennies real quick?
Yeah.
Good job. Awesome. We are going to use these pennies as our non-standard unit now. Do not eat the pennies. Okay, so we're going to lay the first question on here. We're not playing with the pennies. We're going to use them in just a second. All right, on our next worksheet, it says use a penny to measure the picture below. So we have this picture right here. We are going to lay our pennies next to each other and see how many pennies it takes to measure our wrench up there.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's not shout it out. Raise your hand when you have it. All right, let's say it as a class. How many?
5.
4. Awesome, guys. Awesome. So we are going to go ahead and write right underneath the picture of our wrench. The length of the wrench is 4 pennies long. All right, now using your pennies, we are going to use the width of the book, which would be from this end to this end. How many pennies is the book wide?
I can't fit another page.
Okay, so we're going to use our estimation skills. What would you say, Bryce?
2.
2. What would you say, Callie?
I was going to say what Bryce said.
2. All right, so we would all agree 2. We are going to write the width of the book is 2 pennies on the first line.
Teacher, woman, and
No, we're not talking about the bracelet right now. Yes, Callie?
Can I say why I think it's 2?
Nope, we're not on that right now.
Okay.
The length of the book. We're going to talk from top to bottom. Go ahead and lay your pennies across from top to bottom and tell me how many pennies the book is. We're going to give somebody else a chance to answer. Madison? 3. Yes, so we are going to write a number 3 right underneath our number 2. Following along? should have our answers right up here.
I'm gonna make it go.
I'll give you a second to catch up, Bryce.
There. I can't go two. Mom, look, I did it. Can I help her?
Very good. Callie, can you help her?
So,
Callie's gonna help. Go ahead and
I'll
help
show
her.
you right here. Hook it down, top it upside down, facing up, straight line. Take it down, top line.
Madison, you're gonna go ahead and catch up, and Bryce and Callie, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the spoons.
Okay.
Find the longest and the shortest spoons around your house and measure them with a penny. We're not in the house right now, we're in the classroom, so we're gonna go ahead and use our pennies for the answers here. We're gonna measure both spoons and tell me how many. So the shortest spoon is how many pennies? Bryce? Two. Okay, so we are going to write a 2 on the bottom one. I messed up. I read the bottom one first, so the bottom one is going to be the 2. And how many pennies long is the longer spoon? Callie?
I think the tiny spoon is actually one because it's not half of an extra penny, so it wouldn't round up, it'll round down. So it's that one penny, I think.
No, we're going to go ahead and go with the 2 here.
Okay.
I see where you're going, and it's a little confusing when it doesn't go up all the way, but that's why we're going to estimate and get to the closest number.
Cool.
Yes, Madison?
Make it 3.
3. All right, awesome. So we are going to write a 3 on the top line up here.
2. See? Look, I did a 43. 2.
Good job. All right.
2.
Kelly, you know. We all finished. We're going to go ahead and close up our notebooks for a moment.
Monitors. One.
All right, before I release you all to do your own activity, I'm going to go ahead and have you guys hand in your iReady math books. Thank you. And we are going to get our math journals out. It's going to be this right here. Awesome. Alright, so I'm going to show you what I want you to draw on there and how we're going to label it. So, let's say this is my sheet of paper inside the math journal. We're going to draw a big line down the middle. And we're going to draw lines right here, lines right here, lines right there.
Does it have to be 3 lines, or can we just do it in
Well, we're going to have 3 different items we're going to work with, so I want 3 different boxes. On the top, I want you to write the word item. I-T-E-M. In the second area, we are going to write the number sign and then inches. We are only working with inches today. Yes, Callie.
Can you go to the bathroom?
Wait just a few minutes. When I release you guys to do your measurement activity, you can go ahead and have a chance to use the facilities. All right. Everybody got your journals?
I needed the woodcut so I know. And
All right. What we're going to do is we are each going to pick a non-standard unit to estimate different items from around the room. So the first thing I want you to do is go ahead and pick your non-standard item.
Can I pick two?
Nope, we are just going to work with one today. All right.
Which one goes after that?
I will let you know. But first you're going to pick your non-standard item. Hand sanitizer. And
Is it?
a credit card. Okay, I want you to draw a picture. Not sharing time right now. Listen, instructions. You are going to draw a picture of your non-standard item. Callie, you picked a little kaleidoscope. Madison, you got a bottom hand sanitizer. Bryce, you've got a card. So you're going to draw a picture of your item. If you want to try to spell it, go ahead and try to spell it. That would be awesome.
Look, I bit it. My toe. Bit. My hole.
Okay. In the next box, directly across from that, I want you to tell me how many inches you think your item is.
Can I do this?
If it helps you measure,
Yeah,
so you're going to write your numbers. So let's say I had the toy car. I would say that's closer to 1.5 inches. 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. So my estimate,
up here.
I would put a number 2. And then I would make sure to label my units inches.
Ow. It's not going into that hole.
All right, I am going to release you guys. 1 second, Callie. You guys are going to walk around the room, find 2 different items. I want you guys to draw those 2 different items in your box number 1 and box number 2 down here. And then I want you to use your non-standard measuring item that you have right there in your hands and tell me how many of those items it takes to measure the item you choose. So let's say you choose a book and I chose the race car. I'm going to tell you how many race cars it takes me to get across the book. And then I'm going to have a picture of the book in this item, and I'm going to tell you 4 race cars across. And here, I'm going to label my unit inches. Look for those inches. I'm going to be looking at that when I go to look at your journals when you pass them forward when you're done.
Okay.
When we return to our seats, we are going to grab a partner, and we are going to talk about what we measured and how many we think our items are. I want you to talk to your partner and tell them, do you think that is the right one? Do you think maybe it was one higher, one less? All right? So when I say go, you guys can go ahead and walk around the room and select your 2 items.
Okay.
We're only working with inches, so do not go selecting the entire wall to measure with a toy car. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. I'll get you in just a second. Go.
No, she needs a different item. I'm ready.
Okay, so we have discussed it with our partners. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to give everybody a turn with the measuring tape because I do not have a ruler for each of you at the moment. And I want you guys to go ahead and measure the actual length of the item you chose around the classroom. And I want you to write your answer in red underneath. We're going to see and compare how close our estimation was
Careful.
to the actual measurements. So,
Can I show the camera?
done.
Or do I just?
No.
Okay.
Go ahead and write them in red. What two items did you choose to measure?
I treated the bottom of the fish tank.
No. You did the wallet, remember? I helped you.
And I did a fish tank. Mom, in that
Measuring
bottom.
tape?
That was nice.
Okay, so we are going to measure the wallet right here, right?
So I'll do it.
What's that number right there? How many does it come to?
4.
4 and a half.
4.5.
So we are going to write 4 and a half. And how many did you think it was? You thought this card was 2 inches, and you said it took 2 of them to get across.
Yeah.
So you were pretty close with 4, and the wallet is 4 and a half. You were half an inch off. That was awesome, big boy. Good job. All right, so today we went ahead and discovered what a non-standard unit was. I'm going to take those and I'll be looking at your papers, don't worry.
You don't know yet. What's that? Why did you roll?
We learned what a non-standard unit was. We learned how we can estimate using a non-standard unit to guess how long something was. So if I thought my foot was 1 foot long, which I have small feet, I can measure my feet and see how many feet I think this classroom is. Can anybody think of something that is another unit of measurement that maybe we haven't discussed yet? Let's say if I wanted to measure the weight of an item. What kind of measuring tool would I use for that? Stop. Callie.
Scale.
A scale. Correct. That would be another way that we can get the exact. Or we can use a non-standard thing and say we know that a gallon of milk is 8 pounds. We can compare and see how heavy a gallon of milk is in comparison to something else we are lifting and try to use an estimation that way in a non-standard unit. Alright, so I think that is it for today. I'm going to go ahead and have you guys bring your math journals up to the bin up here. I'm going to go ahead and grade those in a little bit. And we will continue on with our lesson.